Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I'm going to be making a friendship card using the Build a Gnome set again. I still really love these gnomes, and one of the great things about them is that even though the winter add-on came with some accessories that you can have your gnome hold, the Sweet Minis sets in previous releases are a perfect place to sort of shop your stash to find other elements that your gnome can hold. I've found that they are the perfect scale for these gnomes, so I think it's just so clever that it's been designed this way so that we can really mix and match and use everything together. So I have found this cute little cupcake from the Celebrate Sweet Mini set, and there is a coordinating die set that goes along with it, and I've already stamped and colored that out. And here I'm going to assemble my scalloped oval frame. And I'm actually using papers, pattern paper, and the Sentiment Blessed that you can see there from my leftovers from the first quarter suite kit. And so that's really what's driving the color palette for this card, because I've got that beautiful sort of checkered pattern paper that's sort of got the blues, the greens, and the oranges. And here I've stamped out the hat in pattern paper, but then I stamped it out a second time, just looking to get that front portion of the hat. And I've stamped and cut it, fussy cut it out of that same darker green color that the body is stamped onto. And for the body portion, I did color in the shoes in black and added, just with a white gel pen, that little white highlight there. And so I'll have my gnome hands holding the cupcake, and I do like to add a little bit of curvature and dimension behind whatever it is I'm going to have my gnome hold. That way I can, it just looks a little bit more like it's out in front of his body, and you get a little bit of sort of dimension from that. And so I'll put liquid adhesive on the hands, which I'll glue flat to the body, but I like to use my Collal 3D glue gel in the center of the object so that as it, when that dries, it's going to dry rock hard, and it'll maintain that distance between the cupcake and the gnome, so that when this goes through the mail, that won't get completely crushed down. So I love the 3D glue gel, but if you don't have that or can't get a hold of it, then you can always just use foam as well, and they'll do a really good job too. I just like the glue gel because it dries clear, and so even if you sort of peek behind there, you'll see that there's, you know, a clear blob of something, but it'll be clear as opposed to your foam pad, which would be you know, white or whatever color your foam is. So I'm gonna also stamp the inside of my card because there's a really great sentiment that comes in the Friends Sweet Mini set that reads, well, you have the word friend in the large font, and then you have to call you in this the add-on to that set. And so the front of the card says blessed, and when you open it, it'll read to call you friend. So I thought that was a really nice way of combining both sentiments that you can stamp, as well as the sentiment that I actually got out of the first quarter Sweet Mini set. So I'll go ahead and stamp this out here, and I would normally stamp with VersaFine, but because I don't want to risk smudging the inside of this, I'm using my Make Art Station and the kind of stamp positioning tools that you can, I think, buy separately. And so I'll use that so that I can get this stamped multiple times. I find that most other black inks I have to stamp 2 or 3 times to sort of get that same like super dark solid black that my VersaFine can get in one stamping. But I don't mind doing that, especially since with this system I can stamp exactly in the same position multiple times, no problem. And so with the Nuvo ink pad that I'm using, it's a hybrid ink, so it's a great ink to have because if you are unsure about what you want to color in a stamped image using, whether it's water-based or your alcohol-based markers, the hybrid inks are fantastic because they won't smudge or bleed regardless of the medium that you use. And it also dries instantly. So I can close my card right away and keep assembling my card without worrying about it smudging or smearing. Okay, so I think I have all the bits, all the pieces ready to start to put this card together. I did back my Blessed sentiment on just some matte, just some white cardstock as an additional matte layer, just so that it pops off of the background paper a little bit better and doesn't get lost, because it does come from the exact same set of pattern paper. It's going to match exactly the same orange in the background paper. So having that bit of white will make it stand out a little bit more. And so I'll go ahead and center this. Now, you've probably seen me do this if you've watched any of my other videos featuring the Build-A-Gnome, but I do like to use my low profile foam just on the parts of the back of the gnome where I have fewer layers of cardstock, because along the body, there's actually, 2-3 layers of cardstock there. And so all I'm trying to do is not so much get a lot of dimension, but more to get the all the levels and layers of cardstock to be level with each other. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be a little bit close, and close enough so that it doesn't feel like, especially if the head is popped up a little bit further from the card than the body, I think that looks a lot more realistic, because the head is, probably sitting in front of the body a little bit more in real life. And so if it's popped up from the card a little bit more than the body, I think that's fine. I'd rather that than have it sink down into the card more than the body. And so that's why I like to use this low profile foam. It's only 1 millimeter thick, which is very, very thin. And it's perfect for occasions like these where you're just looking to level something off. You don't really want to add a ton of dimension. Or in the case of, when you want to add some dimension, but you still want it to be an easy mailer. So you don't want super high profile foam. And so I'll go ahead and get my gnome attached to inside my frame here, and then I'm going to pop my sentiment on, and that's going to be pretty much my card complete. It's a pretty simple card to put together, but I think that, the pattern papers and everything work so well together. And once I decided on that plaid pattern paper, I chose the rest of my colors to fit. So the outfit that the gnome is wearing, the cupcake, everything else was chosen to sort of coordinate with that paper so that everything really goes together. And I love the sentiment, blessed to call you friend. I think it's a really nice any occasion card to send out just to somebody who you want to let them know that you appreciate them. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you like this card. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and sharing. And if you want to catch new videos as I publish them, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Thanks so much, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!